Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 3 of the Glass Blown Open. This is the women's lead card coverage for the front 9 for your second national tour of the season.
My name is Paige Pierce.
And I'm Zoe Andyke.
And we are here to give you this coverage sponsored by Dynamic and the PDGA. First on the card, we have Catrina Allen, who has a 39% birdie rate.
Second on the card is Jessica Weese, and you know, she's parking like 14% of her shots. It's pretty amazing. She's at a +2.
Next up, you have myself, Paige Pierce. I'm only 79% inside the circle, but that's first place somehow, so trying to improve on that today.
And rounding out the card is Jennifer Allen, and she's also at a 65% fairway hits. It's pretty good. Hole 1, you guys know about it. It's a par 5. It's 1,093 feet. You don't want to go out of bounds over the road. You don't want to go out of bounds over the sidewalk. You want to keep it in the center of the fairway, whether you're a right-handed or a left-handed player.
Farther down the green, it gets quite a bit tighter. You have that OB wall on the left side and that sidewalk that comes in about pin high. And if you float your upshot deep, you are also going to be OB.
Teeing off first from Pipestone, Minnesota, Catrina Allen.
And here we see Catrina Allen with 2 of her favorite distance drivers of the weekend.
Both of them are D2s. These things she just knows she can put a lot of power on and they're going to be overstable. Today it's quite windy, so she's probably going to be relying on these quite often.
Full flight out of that disc. Great spot to be for your first shot.
Allen, sponsored by Prodigy.
Yeah, she may have wanted that a tiny bit more left, but only because if you're even slightly to the right, you have kind of those bushes in the tree in the way, but she can, figure it out from there for sure.
And Jessica Weese, again, throwing her standard sidearm for her first tee shot on the first hole.
Kind of a flare skip, but she stays safe. She's going to have those bushes to contend with over there on the right side, so she might be having to throw another sidearm from there.
Paige Pierce.
And here we have Paige Pierce, sponsored dynamic disc player. What are you throwing off the tee here, Paige?
This is my Ballista Pro. With this headwind, I'm trying to put it out really wide.
Oh, I like the angle you put on that.
Thank you.
For some full flight.
Unfortunately, it did not come back. I went OB, but I was quite a ways up there, and it's not the worst spot to go OB because now I can throw the big hyzer over the road.
Gotcha. And here we have Jennifer Allen rounding out as the 4th position on the card.
And if you guys hear these songs that are happening right now, if you guys have never been to the Glass Blown or heard of the Tee Off song, it's something special that they provide here in Emporia. Every player gets to pick their song and tee off to it, kind of a little pump up to start your round.
And although Jen did catch that first Velcro tree on the right-hand side, she throws a little bit of an Annie and gets herself up the fairway for a tricky position for her 3rd shot.
Yeah.
Kind of pinched on that bush tree.
Jessica actually goes for a backhand anhyzer, puts it out really wide with a nice angle on it, and it's getting the full flight. This is her Pharaoh, which is a hyzer bomb mold that is a destroyer, similar to a destroyer. Yeah. Overstable distance driver, very fast.
Kat's 2nd shot, she's definitely hanging out really wide on kind of trying to throw an Annie line position.
Oh.
Wow, did that hit the cameraman actually?
No, went right in between his legs.
Oh, man. Well, good.
Great dodge. So this is my Biofusion Defender. Like I said, having to go over the road. I know I can trust this disc. If I throw it hard and out wide, it's going to swing in. And I got a great skip as well.
Beautiful shot.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of trust and max distance right over the OB the whole way.
And this is Jennifer Allen with a overstable destroyer. She's keeping it nice and low, avoiding all OB on the left side. This is such a great play. She does come up short, but safe is good. Next up, we have Jessica Weese. Again with her faro, this thing is overstable, so she's going to put it wide and hope that it hyzers back.
Played it very wide. Looking for a big skip. I'm not sure that actually made it back in bounds.
It did end up out of bounds. So she's going to be taking her next shot from that front side of the golf green.
And a confident third attack to the green by Cat. Well placed.
Beautifully thrown shot. Nothing special, but so demanding to land it that close to the basket.
And Paige, you're going up over the top here. Which disc did you throw there?
That was my Lucid X Felon. Again, having to throw over the road, I just relied on my most overstable disc, and I also got that beneficial roll on the side hill right there. It's kind of a common thing that I've been seeing. So if you guys are seeing any of these shots this weekend that hit that side hill, it's kind of like a little trick play. It kind of just rolls down towards the basket.
Roll there, yeah.
Jennifer from about 80. Right under it.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Looks like you're just at the circle's edge there, close, and nice cash in there.
Yeah, I was happy to save par with the first throw of the round going OB. Not much more I could have asked for.
And all week long, we've seen Kat play this first hole very solid. She's definitely had a couple of birdies here and has stuck to her game plan and executed very well.
Yeah, she walks off with another birdie, and she's extending her lead already in this round.
Jessica is happy probably right there to save the bogey. Looks like that putt just got over and in for her. A tap-in par for Jen. Couple of pars, one bogey, one birdie, and we're on hole 2. Again, this one, it's a par 4. We've got the OB on the right, OB on the left, and the play is to stay in the center of the fairway.
Here we are on hole 2. Tell us about it, Zoe.
557 feet. It's not necessarily an easy par 4 or a must-get birdie. You've got to put together 2 really nice distance shots and hope to get in there for a good putt.
Yeah, as you get farther up the fairway, you're going to see those trees incorporated into the approach. So this first shot, you don't have to worry about too much other than the OB. So just grab your stable disc. For me, my Biofusion Defender. And I'm just trying to make it rest right near the center of the fairway. If you're a little bit more to the left, you have that sidearm approach. And if you're a little bit more to the right, you can kind of throw a hyzer in there.
Oh, and we can hear Jen right out the hand and off the tee shot. She's not happy. It was a little bit of an early release, resulting in an out of bounds.
Next up is Jessica Weese. Great hyzer flip and starts flipping a little bit much. This is her Champion Valkyrie. It's a 162 gram disc.
Wow.
Yeah, the amount of control she has with this thing is amazing, but unfortunately, uphill into the wind, she just got a little bit too much turn on it.
A little bit of a low release there. Jen might just have a little bit of getting into her third round jitters.
Jess with a nice, wide, stable sidearm and gets the skip.
Wow.
This is a great approach. Honestly, this is a perfect hole for Jessica. A strong backhand off the tee and a strong sidearm. Unfortunately, that first shot was bad, but I think she's going to correct that mistake in round 4, and we're going to see a really solid throw from her.
Mm-hmm. Here we have Paige approaching the green. Is that a putter shot there?
It is. It's a classic blend Marshall. It's a really straight putter. I'm just trying to keep it low under the branch and have it nestle in there.
And for Jen's third shot, actually, she's under the basket, although she did go out of bounds in the first, so she'll receive a penalty at the end here.
Catrina from about 18 feet.
Cashing in another birdie. Way to start. Birdie for Catrina Allen.
Yeah, she moves to 7 under, and obviously she's got her sights on birdies today.
I mean, I hope everybody's sights are focused on the birdies, but Kat's dialed in. And Paige, that was a nice birdie as well.
Thank you.
Jessica also had the birdie. And Jen is tapping out for her bogey as we move on to hole 3. And as you may have seen in the last couple of days, hole 3 is a par 3. It's 489 feet. It's all downhill. We've got a couple of tricky trees right off the tee box. You must pick a gap. I think the most favored gap is the straight center gap. However, powerful sidearm throwers are throwing it off to the left-hand side. And I haven't really seen too many FPOs throw the big hyzer.
Yeah, but it is there.
It is there.
It is very risky, so most of us aren't going for that. We're going for that left gap. But to keep in mind, you have that OB down to the left. So if you don't put a turn on it like Catrina did, once it's cresting down that hill, it's very likely to finish out over to the left OB.
We'll see how Paige Pierce fares off the drive.
I kind of knew it was OB out of my hand. I was just trying to run up there to see where it was going to cross. I just didn't put a turn on it, so it was bound for the left side.
We have Jessica Weese, very dominant sidearm thrower, one of the best in our sport for the female division.
Wide.
Yep, puts plenty of wide action on it, and that's a great shot. Middle of the fairway.
Right in the center. This is kind of a tweener hole for the FPO division, I would say. 489 feet. It is downhill, but it's really hard to get to. If you get a jump putt on this, you're feeling good and you really want to hit it because you know the rest of the division likely is not going to get the 2.
And Jen, unfortunately, is landing out of bounds left there. Like we talked about, the hill, and the gravity will just funnel you to that left-hand side.
Just a little bit high. Those branches definitely come into play. So it's going to knock me down to about circle's edge putt.
Easy up and down there. Nice upshot for Jessica.
And that is her Sonic. Jessica has a very unique bag, I would say. Not many molds in there that the majority of people throw.
Today.
Yeah, definitely. But it's cool to watch and just see how creative she is and how unique and just how well she knows these discs. If you guys don't know what a Sonic is, it is like a catch frisbee. Like Dynamic has the bite. It's a really crazy disc. You guys should look into it.
And Jessica's strong par there for her. And I agree with you. Her bag is one of the most diverse bags. It's kind of cool. It brings some of that old frizz culture, some of the older disc molds, some definite, probably borderline historic discs are in her bag. Who knows? Collectors. And Kat is saving her par. And Jen is going to card a bogey. And Paige, what was that?
A double bogey, yeah.
Moving on to hole 4. It's a par 3. It's 423 feet downhill. And unlike the last hole, this is actually a hole that some of the top throwers or further distance throwers in our division can reach and get in there for the birdie putt. Do have OB lining both sides. It's a matter of a good wind read and trusting your disc, hanging it out over the OB or blasting it straight down and trying to not get caught by that willow tree.
Yeah, so you want to put it wide. Catrina definitely does that, but unfortunately doesn't give it quite enough height, so it's going to hit that green. She was looking for the skip, but unfortunately did not get it. She will be out of bounds. But she honestly had what I would consider to be the line on the hole. Just needed it a tiny bit more glide at the end there.
And Jess hangs it out. It's nice and high, hangs it out wide over that, and gets in front of the tree, kind of the blocker tree.
Yeah.
I'll give her a nice jump putt.
Jennifer here. She said this is her meat hook. She did not want to go OB on the right, so she threw her most overstable destroyer, and she's going to be close to Jess, kind of contending with those trees.
And you're hanging it out plenty wide there, Paige.
Yeah, this is my Ballista Pro. It's really, really domey. It's a gold line one pop top, and it gets a massive amount of glide with that overstable finish.
I mean, that looks close to pin high. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Cat from her OB meter, and she's under the basket to get up and down for the 4. Is that Sonic again?
Yeah, again
She's
with
even
that Sonic.
jump putting the Sonic. That is incredible.
Yeah, she relies on it from, I would say, 130 and in. So anytime you guys see that pink disc, keep in mind it is the Sonic.
Looks like you're about 42 feet away there from the pin. Oh, yeah, birdie. Let's check out the SloMez. And...
Oh,
boom.
A little tickle off that branch.
Yeah, I just saw that. Look at that big smile. That's what we're looking for in the sport.
Yeah, I was excited to connect on that birdie after a double bogey on the previous hole. So now we will be walking on to hole 5.
IMAX is a process where we can take just about any image and put it on a disc.
What about a dog surfing on a pizza drinking root beer?
That's a toughie. Actually, no, it's not. We can Dymax that. Find out more about all the things that we can put on a disc at dynamicdiscs.com/Dymax.
Gotta love the Dymax.
I mean, and I do love that you can put almost anything on a disc. Hole 5. It's a par 4, 521 feet. It's a very tight fairway, even leading up to a tighter green. You've got the sidewalk OB on the right, and then the golf fairway OB on the left. This is a very gettable par 4 for us. Just got to put 2 really strong drives together.
Yeah, and the first shot is very important, I would say. You want to be super wide or super inside. Anything in the middle there, you don't have much, you don't have a great approach. You can still work it out, but you would rather be wide to eliminate some of the trees from your line.
Great drive by Paige there, and Jessica hanging it out a little over the OB, getting a skip. And she may be just a small bit snookered with those trees, but she's safe. She's in bounds.
Jennifer. Oh, she knew right away. A little bit too much turn on her wrist, and that thing wanted to skip in bounds, but unfortunately just too wide. Catrina with her D2. She mentioned that Jen Scott shot kind of scared her, so she just kind of decided not to bite off too much and just laid up a little short of the trees in the center.
Powerful second shot here for Jen. She's definitely trying to get all the way up to the green. I think she came up just a little outside of this circle 2 there.
It's a really big shot from there. Catrina chooses to go up the middle with her M2 and laces it. That shot was really demanding, had to keep it nice and low with a lot of speed on it, and still got the skip.
And Jessica here has that powerful sidearm, so she's able to challenge and go all the way over the out of bounds, getting it just in bounds and inside of the circle for her birdie putt.
Yeah, nice big flare skip.
Oh, Paige throwing a sidearm. I like to see this. Many tools in the bag and very well executed. It's great when you see a top-level player like this. You know, I always envy watching a lot of your shots. It's cool that you have so many things you can put up there underneath the basket.
Thank you. Jen looking to connect, but doesn't get it quite high enough. Those branches kind of hindered her from getting the glide she needed.
And Jessica leaves it a little bit low. It'll be an easy tap-in par for her. And for the birdie putt. Just a little high there.
You could see a little frustration. She had a little bit of putting struggles yesterday, so she did start with 2 birdies. Shouldn't get it in her head yet, but, you know, she's probably thinking, come on, Kat, let's get it in the basket. Move on to hole 6.
And tapping out. Got Jessica with a par. Oh man, I love the feeling of a drop-in birdie.
It is a good feeling.
Tap-in pars, there's something to be said, but tap-in birdies, whew, feels good. Hole number 6, par 3. It's 343 feet, all the way uphill. The main trouble you can get into here, as you can see, is that sand trap, and actually, that is where the OB kind of comes in. It's not just a circle sand trap. The OB extends, forever both directions. So actually hyzering out to the left is kind of the play there. Trying not to snooker yourself behind the tree.
This is my defender, high and wide on a super spike angle. I went OB deep yesterday, so I'm trying to make that correction, and
Well
I get
done.
about pin high.
Yeah.
Jess with her faro again. She turns it over. This was a surprise to see, but honestly, the left side is a good error to make because the OB doesn't come into play over there.
Beautiful shot. As you can see, there's quite a bit of wind at this point, and you can see Kat just kind of throwing it straight at the basket instead of even challenging that bunker. And Jen, same idea. That disc looks a little bit more stable, but she gets a good skip out of it and is not directly behind the tree, so
Yeah.
it's good.
When you do land by that tree, though, the branches, sometimes you can find a little gap, but those branches really block your putt. Maybe she's going to have to drop to a knee. Who knows? We'll see just a moment.
I think Jess actually just did some tree trimming for all the next cards
Yes.
to come through, so that's good course maintenance, Jess.
Yeah, so Jen did have to drop to a knee, but didn't quite get it high enough. Jess is going to follow suit. Can she correct it? Little too high.
Yeah, may have even corrected a little too much watching that shot, but still no trouble. Looking like a tap-in par. And that was for the birdie from Paige Pierce. I think everybody's going to be able to come in and clean up without any stress here. And there's the par. And same story for Jennifer Allen, par.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jessica is carding a bogey on this one. That second, she could have saved par from that drive, but that second shot really cost her. Now she has 2 overstrokes on the round. Jennifer has 3, and Kat only has 1. So we're going to need to clean it up to keep up with Kat, and we're on to hole 7.
515 feet in par 4. Again, there's out of bounds on the right, out of bounds on the left. This is the first kind of forest-looking green. You've got to keep your fairway shot in the middle, your tee shot in the middle of the fairway so that you can actually approach and attack the basket.
Yeah, if you let your disc stable out down that hill, you're going to be pinched on the left side, and those trees are going to make your upshot quite a bit harder.
And what'd you throw off the tee there, Paige?
This is a Biofusion Defender, and I was actually very happy to hit those branches. It knocked me straight down into the center and, prevented me from having to battle with those trees.
Right. Kat taking a low line perfectly straight.
Great shot.
play.
Great
Yep.
shot. This is her D2. She just put a powerful turn on it and kept it low. Flew perfectly.
Really similar looking line there from Jennifer Allen. Just looking for that little bit of skip help. She gets it. Center cut.
Jessica, last on the box. She's throwing that faro again. Nice turn, and it gets that overstable finish. We're all going to be in pretty similar spots, so it's going to be, the battle of the upshots. Catrina's up first, and she's going with a sidearm D1. Great shot, nice and wide and high, letting it drop in.
Giving herself all the chance she needs right there for the birdie. And I do really appreciate this hole being very birdable for our division. Just takes a couple of good shots.
Jessica with that Sonic puts it to about 15 feet right. And this is my Marshall. Left it a little bit short, but it's only about a 20-footer, I would say.
Yeah, well inside the circle.
Jennifer actually said she contemplated jump putting this approach because she felt like it was short. So that's probably a little bit of why she went deep. She thought it was short, couldn't make up her mind, and
Yeah, you never want to let go of a shot with the indecisive brain. You gotta pick what you're gonna do and commit to it. The hand and the brain get a little confused when you haven't committed to your shot.
And that's one thing you don't want to do on this green is leave it deep, because those trees do come into play and it's going to make you have to straddle out. And Jennifer is not straddle putt is not her first option.
Yeah, it's rare that we see that. Yeah, I had a similar putt just like that. Had to straddle out from the tree.
So I will walk away with a par. Jessica walks away with a birdie. And Catrina will be tapping in for a birdie here as well. And we are headed on to the hardest hole on the course, hole 8.
And that is correct. You know, the wind is whipping and we're on the hardest hole. It's 903 feet. The elevation goes down, it goes up, it goes back down, and it kind of goes back up. We have out of bounds on right and left, which actually on the left-hand side is signified by flags and a painted line, and then turns into water. First water hole that we see on the course. A lot of different players you'll see throw a slower speed disc off of the box, except actually right here, Kat's throwing a driver and hanging it out with full confidence over the out of bounds. And this is just a fast, skippy part of the course, you know. The players really have to trust their shots if they're going to throw a max distance driver. Just get all that skip and ground action.
Yeah, one reason that players will disc down and throw that slower speed disc is because that part of the green is wider. So when you're throwing an overstable distance driver, you're coming in where you're landing is the most narrow part of the hole. So it's risky, and Jessica just absolutely pured that shot.
Did you go with a driver today?
I did go with a driver. I thought, you know, this is a silly thought, but I'm probably going to go out of bounds at some point on this hole. So might as well get out of bounds really far up there. You know, like I said, I went straight OB. So.
And Jen is throwing an overstable, I think that was a driver as well, and lands it in the fairway.
Yeah, she put a good amount of width on that. She really trusted it out wide, and that just goes to show you how confident she is in that disc stability. Catrina narrowly missing the cameraman. Great wide shot over the sidewalk and lets it skip into the center of the fairway.
Nothing like getting center cut on this hole. That's great. Jessica with a sidearm.
Beautiful turn, out wide, trusts it to hyzer back. And she gets close to that 250-foot stake.
That's a great shot. And she's got some options there being on the right-hand side.
Jennifer up next. Wants to keep it wide because if you don't, while your disc is losing speed downhill, there's that OB that you just talked about. And wow, a lot of action on that, but it stayed safe.
Awesome.
This is my Lucidex Felon. Again, wide and overstable. And just look how much action this green
the ground
has.
action. You know, with the combination of the wind and then the downhill slope, these discs are doing crazy things once they hit the ground.
Catrina wanting to go wide of that tree on a little skip shot, but lets it go a little early. It goes inside the tree and skips OB.
And piping it right up through the middle of those trees, parked for, I believe that's going to be Jess's birdie attempt.
This is my classic blend Marshall. High and turned over, and it just finishes pretty much straight, just right where you throw it. It's going to sit down.
Looks like exactly what you wanted there.
Jennifer with her late release. She's audibly upset, but, she's still about circle's edge. She can capitalize. She just needs to kind of get that together in her mind before she walks up to that putt.
And I believe Kat got a little bit of action on that basket, but just lands next to it.
Yeah, so that upshot error unfortunately cost her 2 strokes right there. She really wanted to make sure to get that wide. And
Jessica is cashing in on a birdie on such a tough hole. That is a huge feat. You got to know she's walking off of there, that green with confidence.
Yeah, such a good birdie to get.
And a great par.
Pars do feel good on it as well. And thanks to UDisc, we have a leaderboard check-in. Catrina is 5 under. Jessica Weese is in second at 1 over. And then you have myself at +3. It's a tight race. We have 1 hole left in this front 9, which is the second hardest hole on the course.
I mean, it's a par 4. It's 611 feet. Quite a bit of elevation, just like the last. You've got to get out the chute. It's semi-downhill and a really tight out of bounds behind it. Turning a massive right hand, I guess it's actually like a little more than 90 degrees to get to the green uphill. OB is really tight on the right-hand side and close behind the basket.
Jessica here with her Star Vulcan. This is a really flippy disc that she has in her bag. She throws it on a severe hyzer angle and gets that flip up to flat and just crests down that hill beautifully.
A lot of trust in that disc.
Yes.
Not quite getting a friendly kick in there, so Paige will actually proceed to the drop zone for her second shot.
Yeah, any OBs on this tee proceed to the drop zone. Jennifer kind of just follows my lead, and we both will be headed there. It's an intimidating gap. This is a really well-designed hole. It's really hard for both the FPO and the MPO players. A lot of people are saying it's almost impossible to get a birdie. Catrina, beautifully thrown shot there.
And from the drop zone, you really need to focus on, placement of your shot. There is OB off to the left and the right, and it's not the widest place right there rounding that corner. So focusing on trying to hit the middle so that you have a chance to approach the basket is all a player wants.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible to get up and down from the drop zone, so you kind of just want to lay up a little past that red stake you guys see right there. But Kat, with her drive being way up there, she can actually try to bite off some distance around the corner. And she doesn't get herself close enough to get the birdie, but she should have no problem getting up and down from there. Jessica, again with the Star Vulcan. She's going to have to put that thing on a hyzer angle up high. And this is such a veteran move here, throwing an understable disc on a hyzer around the dog leg. Two beautifully thrown shots in a row.
I would venture to say that she's probably the farthest up I have seen any
That's what I
player
told her.
in our field off the
That's
second
what I told
shot.
her.
That was really 2 well-executed shots. And it looks like you're under the basket there on your 3rd shot.
This is Jennifer's AVR 3. It's an overstable version of the AVR, maybe too much so for that shot, but I think she was trying to avoid the OB on the right side and the deep behind the basket.
And Kat putting herself in position for the putt.
Jessica to get a huge birdie here. Can she make it?
Oh, man, I really would have loved to see that. I might have actually hurt your ears screaming through the microphone. Really well-played hole for Jessica. And you can hear right out of her hands, Jen knows that that putt was not in the center, and she chains out left.
Oh, a little low from Catrina. It's an unfortunate miss, but she is still in the lead by 6 shots currently. Jess will pick one up here, and it's getting tight going into the back 9 on round 3.
Definitely are having some stroke swings here. Like I said, great par for Jess. And Kat is cleaning up for the bogey. Paige, I like to call that a stress-free par. Or excuse me, that was a bogey because you took the drop zone.
Yes.
That's right. 4 shots plus 1 penalty. We have Catrina Allen on top of the leaderboard still. Jessica Weese is in second. Let's see, you're in third, and tailing right behind you is Jennifer Allen.
So click the logo, subscribe now, and see the battle ensue even further on the back 9 for round 3.
Thank you for joining us.